Hi. Today I will be talking about the long awaited but unfortunate end to Succession, probably my favorite show of HBO and just in general. It's a great show and I can't wait to dive in today. So let's start. Let's talk about Shiv first. Seeing Shiv try to rekindle the relationship with Tom was very sad because you've seen her do it multiple times, just keep getting rejected, and you kind of root for her and want the relationship to work, right? But you do kind of see her toxic traits throughout the show, so you understand where Tom's coming from, right? So that's not really crazy to think about. Also, another thing with Shiv, her saying that her siblings grabbed the crown and pushed her out when her dad died was very, very sad. I could see that happening because she did try to be CEO, but then the two brothers ultimately became the CEO, the co CEOs. And yeah, that was sad seeing her point of view is just wanting to be it so bad, but just being rejected all the time. Even being promised at some point in the show by Logan himself. But we'll get into that later. Let's get into Tom now. Tom, having the dinner and basically taking the fall or being the fall guy of the company when they take over. That's a very Tom thing to do, right? It's expected and it's kind of funny that he kind of agreed to that. Even though he gets power, he still is the fall guy of the new company, the new Gojo company, and we will talk about that more later. The best part about this finale, right? The, the most wholesome part about this finale and what they did really good with the writing and everything was having the siblings come together and fight about what the show's about, secession. That's literally what they did. They fought about the secession of the company, and they ultimately decided on Kendall, which was a very wholesome moment of just siblings bonding. All right, we didn't really see that much, but just siblings bonding in the finale. That was great. Great writing. It felt so natural. Felt like the actors were actually bonding together one last time, and it was very great. Phenomenal. I like that. Kendall being appointed, that was a great decision. It was a. I'm not gonna say predictable because that undermines it, but I would say it is. It was expected of him to be promoted as a CEO. That's what we all saw, and yeah, just seeing that was great. Another bonding moment that I really really liked about the show was when they watched Logan Roy being Logan Roy, right? In that old clip of them talking and bantering and all that stuff, that was very great. And them just tearing up and just smiling about their dad, forgetting all the bad stuff and just smiling about their dad. It was very great, and I love that moment so much. I'll probably watch it again. That this whole episode I'll probably watch again. It's so great. Tom and Greg fighting in the bathroom. I just have to mention that Tom and Greg fighting in the bathroom was so nostalgic. Reminded me of that scene where they're throwing water bottles at each other, or just Tom throwing water bottles at him. It was so nostalgic. This episode they just hit the nail with all this nostalgia with Logan Roy and Tom and Greg. All of that. It's very good. Uh, and then the finale, the ending, the board vote. This was probably the most tense scene in the show. Very tense, very good. I was at the edge of my seat because I didn't know what was gonna happen, right? And I didn't expect what was gonna happen, right? You had all the votes, and then leading up to Roman. Roman, I could see him saying yes to the Gojo deal, but then he said no. It's like okay, it's secure. The for sure Kendall's gonna win the CEO vote, and then Shiv comes in. Shiv comes in with her not seeing him being the CEO, which at first I thought was petty. But then I thought about it, and it does kind of make sense. He's not fit for CEO, and what nailed it in the coffin that he's not fit for CEO when he denied killing the kid. I don't. I still don't think the siblings thought he was lying about it. They think it's actually true, even though he said he's lying. But just him denying killing the kid and not taking responsibility shows that he's not fit for a leader. Because at a point, I was kind of annoyed by Shiv. I was like, vote for your brother to be CEO. But then him denying killing the kid, that was a nail in the coffin. Perfect, perfect ending to Kendall's legacy, Kendall's drive to be CEO. He wasn't fit after all, right? We all thought he was, but after all, he wasn't fit. He really wasn't. Shiv, Roman, you could argue about them being fit, but Kendall was not fit at all. No. And then the ending, the actual ending, Tom being CEO, him just walking to that office. I was smiling. I was rooting for Tom, the underdog, right? I wanted Kendall, but then after, the him being not fit, I was rooting for Tom, and I was actually happy. It was a very great ending, happy ending for Tom. And then just the ending of Tom and Shiv's relationship, him being CEO and her working with him. I'm assuming they're gonna work together. Just them, the dynamic switching from the beginning of the series, and Tom being on top. It was phenomenal. It was great. I was so happy for Tom. Yeah, I'm smiling till this day, like till now. It's very, very exciting for Tom. And then the ending for Kendall was well deserved. You know, he was too ambitious, too self absorbed, and at the end, I actually thought he was gonna jump off the pier, but he didn't. That was great. I didn't want him to kill himself, obviously, but that was a great ending for Kendall, Roman, all of them. It was a great ending. Perfect. I really congratulate this show, and I'm really sad it's gone, but it had to end this way. It had to end with only 4 seasons. If it was long and drawn out, it would have been bad. But the way it ended, perfect. HBO, you were doing a great job with Barry, with this, Last of Us, all of that. HBO, good job. And yeah, that is the finale. I might make another video of just reviewing the whole series as a whole later on, but this is my finale review. The show was phenomenal. If you haven't watched it, I don't even know why you're watching this video. Just watch it. It is the greatest. And I will see you guys next week with possibly another video. And yeah.